Good evening, I'm Emma Jane Van. This is Television Tonga News. Making headlines, His Majesty King Dabo VI officially opens a new church building for the Free Wesleyan Church of Lotofoa in Hapai. Honourable Salo Te Mama Daimtuku Aha calls on the youth to prioritise the theme Merry Christmas with Families, and the death of a Tongan woman and her 7-month baby in Fiji suspected to be murder. These and more stories, including news from the Pacific, sports, world and the weather information later on in this bulletin. Let's take a look at the news in detail. His Majesty King Dabo VI officially opened a new church building for the Free Wesleyan Church of Tonga in Lotofoa, Hapai this morning. In marking the opening of the church, His Majesty cut the ribbon to the entrance of the church before unveiling the commemorative plaque. Here's Kalaine Tongilava with that story.
Also attending the auspicious occasion were Her Majesty Queen Nanas Pau'u and His Serene Highness Prince Tuipelehake. Other cabinet ministers were also present at the ceremony who have travelled to Hapai to attend the commissioning of the Foa Causeway that connects the two main islands of Foa and Lifuka, which was conducted yesterday. In today's ceremony, the president of the Free Wesleyan Church, Reverend Dr. Ahio, led the sermon to mark and bless the first prayer service being held inside the newly constructed church. In his sermon, he emphasized the importance of the church history for the people of Foa. Reverend Dr. Ahio says the establishment of the church was a vision of the church members. He also spoke of the old church building, which was demolished in order to build the new one on the same lands. The idea is to bring new environment, but also to keep the history of the lands where the ancestors of Foa used to pray to God. During the ceremony, the secretary of the church, Ofa Varalahi, spoke of the background of the work. He says the cost for the building is estimated at more than 1,082,000 pa'anga. The funds for the construction were raised by different sources, including His Serene Highness Prince Tuipelehake and his family, the former Foa residents now living in New Zealand, the church trustees, and also the Free Wesleyan Church of New Zealand and also in Tonga. After the formalities, Their Majesties, together with the guests, were invited to a special luncheon hosted by the church members of the Free Wesleyan Church of Lotofoa. The program was broadcast live on Radio Tonga 1 and also recorded by the staff of Television Tonga to be broadcast on Television Tonga. Reporting for Television Tonga News, I'm Kalaine Tongilava.
Honourable Salo Te Maumau Daimtuku Aho appeals to youth of the Free Wesleyan Church of Tonga to prioritise the theme of the programme Merry Christmas with Families. She made the call this morning to thousands of youth taking part in today's celebrations at the Mamaloa grounds. Kalaine Tongilava again with that story.
Today's program is an initiative of the Free Wesleyan Church to combine the youth from different branches of the church throughout Tonga Tapu in a spiritual gathering. In the speech from the guest of honor, Honourable Salo Te Maumau Taimi Tuk Aho, people often say the Christmas holidays is when parents worry a lot for their children. She says it is her hope that today's program will encourage youth to have a Merry Christmas at home instead of somewhere else. Honourable Salo Te Maumau Taimi added it is vital that children and youth lead a responsible life in order to make their parents happy this Christmas. In words of encouragement from the Free Wesleyan Church Secretary General, Reverend Dr. Tevita Havea, he highlighted the importance for youth to listen to parents and heed their advice. Reverend Dr. Havea added he's hoping that today's program will help lead the young people to make good decisions in life. The program began with a special march and float parade this morning along Taufa'aha Road before gathering at the Mamaloa grounds for other activities such as skits and action songs performed by the youth. Reporting for Television Tonga News, I'm Kalaine Tongilava.
A 33-year-old Tongan mother and her 7-month-old daughter died in their home near Visese Lautoka in Fiji yesterday. According to the Fiji Times Online, the mother is Sisi Taufa'apatolo, who died from serious injuries as a result of an alleged knifing incident. Her 3 other children were also admitted to Lautoka Hospital aged 3 to 5 years. Fiji police have taken in a 22-year-old woman for questioning over the incident. The killing shocked the quiet farming community located on the outskirts of Lautoka City, and a large crowd started gathering in nearby houses as news of this killing spread. The taxi driver, Anand Prakash, age 51, told Fiji Times Online it was an emotional and frightening experience for him when he was called to take the children to the hospital. He said he didn't believe his eyes when he saw the mother and her 4 daughters lying unconscious in a pool of blood. That he met the deceased husband near the main road where he was asking for transport or help to transport the 4 children to hospital. Police spokeswoman Anna Naisoro said the incident was alleged to have occurred as a result of a domestic dispute between the deceased and a 22-year-old woman. She said police received a report from health authorities that a woman and her child were brought to the hospital and were pronounced dead on arrival. A majority of a 14 million pa'anga aid from the Asian Development Bank and the Government of Australia is directed at development projects to upgrade equipment at the Waste Authority Limited and Tonga Water Board. The Deputy Coordinator of the Nuku'alofa Urban Development Sector Project, 17 Mo'ua, announces in a televised program on Television Tonga. Sini Latu reports.
The Deputy Coordinator of the Nuku'alofa Urban Development Sector Project, 17 Mo'ua, says assistance is provided for the Waste Authority Limited for the establishment of the second land refill for waste. For the Tonga Water Board, assistance provided includes the renovation of the water pumps at Mataki Ewa, together with upgrading a reservoir that will hold 4 million litres of underground water. The project for the Waste Authority is the upgrade or a second refill at Tapuhia, where rubbish can be dumped. I think those who have been to Tapuhia can see the work being done there. For the Tonga Water Board, we are upgrading water pumping systems at Mataki Ewa. There are new pumps installed there too. It also includes a new reservoir that can hold up to 4 million litres of water. From the same program, the Chief Executive Officer of the Waste Authority Limited, Kalolaine Fifita, says that they are grateful for the assistance. She says they need funds to maintain their operations, which charges customers a 10 pa'anga fee for the monthly rubbish pickup. The rubbish trucks are used for picking up rubbish. The second dumping area at Tapuhia is also used to dump rubbish there. That is why it is vital for us to collect money to help maintain such operations. We charge a 10 pa'anga fee for collecting rubbish monthly, but that is not enough. According to Ms. Fifita, the company needs 70,000 pa'anga a month to maintain its equipment. Even with the money fees collected each month, the company is still short by 20,000 pa'anga. The Tonga Water Board also faces financial constraints in maintaining its operations. The new pumping systems installed need to be maintained, and we need money for that. This assistance does not cover the long-term maintenance of the equipment. We then have to think of ways to generate money. We have to make it affordable for the people so that operation is available for them. Some of these new equipment needs to be overhauled in 5, 10 or 50 years. The fees imposed on the public is used for maintaining these equipment. Mr. Moala says they charge 2 pa'anga 9 seniti its customers for the usage of 1,000 litres of water. For Television Tonga News, I'm Sini Latu.
Tonga's High Commissioner to Australia, Her Royal Highness Princess Latu Fuipeka Tu'uaho, launched the Tonga National Professional Standards for Registered Nurses this afternoon. In addition, the Honourable Minister of Health launched the Reproductive Health Policy and Strategy for the Health Ministry to begin using next year until 2017. This is held at the Tonga National Centre at Te Whoa. Daiwhainga'a has more on that story.
Her Royal Highness Princess Latu Fuipeka Tu'uaho presented the Tonga National Professional Standards for Registered Nurses. In her remarks from the Honourable Minister of Health, Lord Te Awhitu, he says King Saosidebo I prioritised the importance of having a health ministry in Tonga's form of government. Reproductive health is important and nurses knows about it because they have been trained how to give advice on family planning. The Health Director, Dr. Sialeka Ola, says the professional standards will help improve how nurses conduct themselves at work. The launch of the Tonga National Profession Standard for registered nurses will become a guide for the Tongan nurses in their profession. It's also important for the nurses to carry out their duties with compassion in a professional way and serve the public with humility. The program was attended by doctors and nurses from the Ministry of Health. Meanwhile, 2 female nurses at Viola Hospital are expected to retire at the end of the month. They are Sister Sela Pasi and Sister Seini Pasa.
The government has confirmed a total of 11 public holidays for next year, 2014. Information from the Prime Minister's office says the first holiday of the year is January 1st. The next holidays will be on the 18th, 21st and 25th in the month of April 2014. These days include Good Friday, Easter Monday and Anzac Day. The months of June, July, September and November have 1 holiday each, whereas the November holidays includes the Emancipation Day, June 4th, the birthday of His Majesty King Tebow VI, July 4th, and the birthday of His Royal Highness Crown Prince Tebow Lukalala, September 17th, and the Constitution Day, November 4th. In the month of December, Tonga will observe public holidays on Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and the anniversary of King Tebow I's coronation. Some holidays follow the provision of the amended 2010 Public Holidays Act. Police continue their search for a 17-year-old girl who's been reported missing from her home in Maufanga for 2 weeks now. Soana Pita has been missing since Monday last week. She's the youngest of 10 children of Tokilupe and Petelo Pita. Speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News, the distraught mother Tokilupe begged her daughter to return home. She's also appealing to friends, family and the public to help find her daughter and return her home or let her know if she's all right. That's the local news. Pacific is up next.